So, have seen a lot of messages from people talking about the protesters that got hit in Seattle on the I-5, and the one female just passed away as a result of getting struck by that vehicle. There's a lot of people who are going back and forth about what happened there. And at the end of the day, the thing that everyone needs to realize is a young woman lost her life. I apologize for anyone who is watching this that has the knowledge of the background of these two women. It's my understanding that respectfully, they did not like to be referred to as a gender. Both these women who got struck by this vehicle requested to be referred to as they or them, and not she or her. So my apologies for anyone watching that may say that by saying she got hit by the car or she passed away. I'm just, sharing this story. So she got hit by the car. Another woman got hit by a car, and they one passed away. The other one critically injured. We've been seeing a lot of this behavior, and I think at some point we got to ask ourselves what's crossing the line of reason and what's crossing the line of sanity. No one deserves to die, and they're out there protesting their cause. This was a white woman protesting against black inequality, which we're seeing a lot of. We're seeing a lot of. I'm seeing more white people at these Black Lives Matter protests than black people, which is fine. What I don't understand is what you intend to accomplish dressed in all black from head to toe on a dimly lit freeway that is haphazardly closed, and you are now illegally standing in the middle of the freeway. I don't understand the reasoning. First of all, I don't understand my understanding of protesting, and someone can clarify this in the comments if you wish. My understanding of a protest was you are protesting and you want people to see you. You want to be seen. You want to be noticed. You want to be heard. But if you use spare tires and cones to haphazardly block off the highway, there was no police presence, there was no official DOT regulation road closure, which is what you need to close a road. Washington State Police, they've already said that this was an illegal road closure, that these people were not allowed to be there. So using spare tires, cones, and some garbage, they closed off a ramp to the freeway, the I-5, a busy freeway. And a gentleman went, I guess seeing that, decided he was going to get on the freeway and went up the wrong way down. He went up on through an off-ramp and got onto the freeway. In the video, which maybe I'll clip into the YouTube version of this video, but you see that the protesters used 3 cars to block the highway sideways. So it's not like they even parked the cars so that an approaching vehicle would be approaching the vehicle from the rear and would see a reflection of the brake lights or anything like that. They park, if the highway's going like this, they park their cars sideways. 1, 2, 3, completely across the I-5. No lights, No flashing reds or yellow. These were personal vehicles that were just parked in the darkness across the freeway without consent, without any permit, and they just thought that that was going to be okay. And now this man gets onto the freeway, which you can expect because, trust me, as a police officer, we would have a roadway closed with barricades and cones and flares, and people would still go around. There would be a police car with flashing red and blue lights. There would be cones and everything. And people would still go around, and then when you would stop them, they would say, oh, well, I live right there. I live right there. I need to get there. We're like, the road is closed. So I can imagine it's no surprise that someone went around their haphazard barricade with like spare tires and twigs and got onto the roadway. And then when this person was going down the roadway, they clearly didn't see the vehicles that were parked across the highway. And when they swerved around the vehicles and went into the shoulder and realized everyone dressed in all black in the pitch black were in the shoulder, swerved and hit these two individuals in the roadway. One of them losing their life. So that's the question I have. Who were they? Who was going to see them on the roadway? If you're trying to block the roadway to prevent traffic from going by, so that means you are on the highway by yourselves. It's no one but you, the protesters, and no one else can see you. Literally, no one else can see you because you're dressed in all black, but literally, people who are not protesting don't have the ability to see you. So what is the point of unlawfully closing a highway, blocking it with personal vehicles, not emergency vehicles, and standing there in the darkness, chanting? Who does that share your message with, besides those that are there with you? The whole point of protesting is to let others know about your message. It just doesn't make sense. And from a safety standpoint, to be in any road, I don't care if it's a highway, I don't care if it's a local road, to be dressed in all black, nothing reflective on you, in the middle of the night, what does that accomplish for you? You're a safety hazard. So now this young black man in his 20s who was driving his vehicle that went up the off-ramp to get onto the highway now is being charged with all kinds of charges, especially now because this woman died, or this individual died, I'm sorry. And this other individual is severely injured, apparently. And now, yeah, he was wrong for going up the ramp and trying to get on the freeway, because he was probably just like all those people who go around the police barricades. He's probably like, what is this? What is this garbage? Spare tires and sticks blocking this ramp. I'm going to go around. And he found a way to go around. And he just was going where he's going. There's no motive yet. No one, the police, Washington State Police have not said anything. The Washington State Police made a statement saying that the protesters were there illegally. It's illegal to be in the roadway. And that now that someone died, now that someone lost their life, they are now going to be arresting anyone in the roadways, blocking the roadways. Now, this has been going on for almost 3 weeks, where the people of Seattle have been dealing with this madness of people just illegally closing roadways, people trying to get to work, to earn money, to feed their families, are now being inconvenienced because people are illegally closing roadways. So the people of Seattle have been dealing with this and are furious. But Now this Washington State Police said, now we're going to start arresting protesters who are in the road. Now, someone had to die. They said it's illegal, and it's been illegal for the last 3 weeks. It's not like now it's illegal. No, it's been illegal. Washington State Police declared it's been illegal, but they're only now going to start arresting people for it now that this individual died. Okay, all right. So it goes back to the question, why was it allowed in the first place? If it's illegal to protest on a highway and illegal to close a highway without any DOT regulations or permission, and they've already declared that, why has it been allowed for 3 weeks now? So it just defies logic. And who wants to go stand in the road there in the pitch black? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And now, of course, this driver, this young man who drove through and killed this individual, he's a young black man. And so it's kind of hard to say that right now, they don't know, but it's kind of hard to say that he intentionally hit these protesters because he realized that they were Black Lives Matter protesters or whatever. They were apparently protesting a lot of things, protesting Black Lives Matter and some feminine causes. And although the two individuals that got hit didn't want to be referred to as females, and then there was, obviously anti-police undertones, of course, as well. And like I said, all that's fine. But now this black man hit these white girls, and no one is saying that it's a hate crime against the protesters because he's black. Had he been white, I'm sure that's what people would be saying, and everyone knows that, right? I mean, that's no secret. Everyone knows that if that was a white person that ran into this crowd of protesters dressed in all black, protesting Black Lives Matter, this guy would probably be like crucified. But it's a young black man, and they're not saying anything. There's some people who are from that area who were saying he was just another guy, a kid who was sick of road closures and said, screw it, I'm going around it. I'm sick of these road closures. I don't think he had any idea who was in the road protesting. Of course, they're all dressed in black and whatever. So, just a sad, now this young man, although, an awful error on his part, is now dealing with the loss of a life of this individual. And of course, that individual's family, are now, of course, they lost their child. It just all around, just a bad situation that didn't need to happen. And once again, a lot of people are blaming the driver, and a lot of people are blaming the people who are dressed in all black, illegally closing the roadway, illegally in the road. Yeah, you got to put some fault there too. It's just not wise. So the PSA of this message is, if you want to protest, that's fine. If you want to go out and scream and support your cause, that's fine. I don't care. All right, you're white and you're protesting Black Lives Matter, fine. But we've seen these videos time and time again over the last few weeks where these people are in the road blocking the passage of citizens who are trying to live their life. They're trying to go to work. They're trying to earn a living. They're trying to live their life. They're not saying that they don't support your cause. They're not saying that they don't support you protesting. But when you are just haphazardly blocking roadways and affecting everyone, you could be negatively or adversely affecting people who actually support you, who support Black Lives Matter and support your cause, and you're now hurting them from going and feeding their kids. And then when someone hits a protester that's in the road, everyone's like, throws their hands up in the air and they're like, oh my God. I don't know. It just doesn't seem intelligent on any count. It doesn't seem intelligent to take your body and put it up against a 5, 8, 10,000 pound moving vehicle. I don't think that does anything for any cause. That is just going to lead to you losing your life. And I mentioned on a previous video things to do to help keep you alive and things to do that will get you killed. And certain creatures are intelligent enough not to do certain things, and certain creatures are not intelligent enough, and they end up dying. They end up not making it because they do unintelligent things. And we have to be smart in what we do. We have to think about consequences of what we do. We have to think about consequences of all of our actions. Always. If we are going to resist arrest and fight with the police, we have to recognize that there is going to be a consequence for that. If we are going to dress in all black and stand in the middle of the freeway that is not closed by the police, you have to realize there may be a consequence with that. And those are not intelligent decisions that could potentially lead to serious injury or death. It's almost like you got to put a warning label on things like that. Like they have warning labels on like irons. They have warning labels on hair dryers. And it's like it's almost like in life some people need warning labels for like life situations. Stay out of the road. Don't dress in all black middle of the night. Protest during the day and protest where people can see you and hear your voices. Don't protest in the middle of the road at midnight. It's not smart. You're going to end up dead. Wash your hands. Corona's real, so they say.